Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way, if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way. If you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous, did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments, get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart, just to open your eyes up.
Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it, y'all. Part 3 gang, y'all, let's get it. Like, share, subscribe, y'all, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's go. Man, that joke was crazy, man. That man told John, man, you gonna pay me back one way or the other, man. You gonna pay me back with commissary, or you gonna pay me back with those things, man. And y'all already know what I'm talking about, man. That joke was crazy to hear. I don't even want to repeat it again. I promise you, man, everybody was just quiet in the park. Everybody, cell 16 is right there by the steps. People sitting on the steps, people playing poker, people over there getting a haircut, dudes walking around. Everybody like, John was like, he just had the man look. He was like, stupid look. This man's face that looked stupid for so long, and it was so quiet in the pod. He was like this. All right. That man looked around. So he looked around, he spotted me. He was like, hey, Weezy. I was like, what's up? He walked up. He was like, hey, Weezy, can I borrow $45? I was like, $45? I said, man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't have $45, man. And I won't try to be petty, y'all. I'm being honest with y'all, man. Like, I just don't have $45 to give away to a dude that's acting like a nincompoop. I'm being honest, man. Like, when he came to holler at me about it, if I was dumb loaded and I was the store box, of course, I would have probably sacrificed $45. But y'all gotta understand $45 in penitentiary look like, man. You know what I mean? Y'all gotta understand that. So I said, yo, listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I don't have $45. I don't. He was, man, Weezy, you ain't got it? I was like, nah. He looked at my homeboy. He don't even know my homeboy. He said, you got it? My homeboy was like, man, I ain't got no $45 for you, man. He was like, he started looking around. He was like, I said, man, look, just go to the hole, bro. I whispered it to him. I said, man, let's go to the hole, bro. He was like, the hole? I was like, yeah. He's like, I'm gonna watch TV. I said, bro, listen, you not watching TV no more. What you mean? He was like, no, I like watching TV, Weezy, man. Yeah, man. We be up late night watching BET Uncut. I said, what? He said, yeah, we be watching it together. I said, watching it together? I said, what y'all be doing? He be watching it, y'all be watching it together. He was like, what you mean we be doing? We just be watching it together. I said, man, look, man. It's a difference between you and your roommate. Got 2 different TVs. Y'all watching BET Uncut. You know what I mean? I said, but y'all watching BET Uncut. Like what you be standing up? You in the bed? He was like, no, he told me to come down and watch it with him. I said, bro, listen to me. One more time, bro. I'm going to tell you, bro. I said, this is the same advice your cousin will tell you, man. Let's go to the hole, bro. Let's go to the hole, man. He was like, Weezy, listen, I'm not going to the hole, man. He ain't going to do nothing to me, man. I'm going to pay him, man. I'm going to give him 25 this week. And then my mama send me something else. I'm going to pay him the other money, man. I was like, bro, listen, you think it's that easy on a freaking predator, man? I said, this man is freaking drooling out the mask right now because how bad he wants you, man. I said, you running around this joint laughing and joking, and you think everything that I'm saying is a joke? You taking everything I'm saying as a joke? That's what you doing? He was like, you serious, Weezy? I was like, what you mean? I'm serious as a heart attack, bro. What you mean? I said, man, look, just go to the hole, man. Get out the cell with him, man. He was like, man, I ain't never ran, never will, Weezy. Never ran, never will. I said, man, you ain't from Brownsville, man. So boom. It's your problem, man. He was like, man, he ain't gonna do nothing, Weezy, man. I said, all right, bro. All right, do you, man. You know what I mean? I walked away on him, man. I looked up. He was over here asking the white dude for some money. He left the white dude, went over here and asked the dude from Richmond with the store box for the money. Dude from Richmond with the store box looked at him like, yeah, right, man. I ain't giving you nothing, man. You know what I mean? He went and hollered at a couple of other people. They ain't give him nothing, man. The whole time he talking to people, I look over at the predator standing by his door like this. He got one foot on the door. He just watching everything. He like, I read his brain. He like, Weezy clapped him. Richmond boy is clapping. White boy ain't got nothing for him either. Those cheeks is mine, y'all. So boom. That's what that man was thinking, man, because if he can't pay that bread, then there's gonna be repercussions behind that, man. Now his only way out is the only way out, y'all. And y'all will say this in the comments. And that's going to the hole. Check in. Or go tell the police. I don't care what you do. Just get out the cell with this freaking psycho, man. This dude predator mask is on now. Now when I see him standing by his door, it's the predator mask now. It's the predator. He had full predator mode now. At first he was camouflage, like how the predator be. No. Now he's like, his suit has been like compromised. Now you can see his whole predator body. He's a predator. He's standing over there and he's just waiting for this dude to come back in the cell for lockdown. You know what I mean? So John went and made his rounds. He didn't come up with the money. After he didn't come up with the money, he went and sat by the table. He went and sat at the table, sitting over there by himself. Lady coming to John, lockdown for count. Lockdown for count. That's how them words probably sounded, John. Lockdown for count. I see John, he was sitting on the bench. He was like, he just kept looking at the TV. He was like, lady coming to joint, everybody moving around, everybody about to get locked down. That's how it be when it's about to be locked down. Dudes this way, that way, ice, hot water. Let me grab something from my homeboy. Let me get a Fiji paper from him. Give me a black and mild. Everybody moving around. It's about to be locked down. It's about to be locked down, man. I promise you. John still at the TV like this. He got his hands on the bench. Just he like. So the lady got down. So the lady moving around. She like, excuse me, mister. Locked down. Locked down. He was like, She was like, locked down. He was like, oh, okay. I'm standing. I come back to the joint. I look. I'm about to shower looking. I'm like, do it. Just check in. Just check in. He was like, he got up. He scratched. He was like, That man went towards the cell, y'all. So boom. Group lock. All the doors closed. All the doors are locked. Now he's in there with the predator. Now what can he do? Now, when it's a situation like this, man, like I feel like the predator was actually really like super wrong on this, man, for a lot of reasons, man, because John has showed signs of being a little crazy, man. Like he missing a couple of screws, or I don't know if he's faking. I don't know. All I know is, man, he's in a cell with this predator dude and we locked down. We are locked down. So now I'm just like, yo, like for real? He on his own, man. Like, you know, like if I bump into Mike, man, I'm just gonna tell Mike straight up, man. I'm like, yo, bro, listen, man. Your cousin came out one day, man. He was combing his hair back, man, like freaking Lionel Richie, man. Like this man hair looked like Frankie Lyman. Like he came going to the shower, combing his hair backwards like Frankie Lyman, man. This man won't missing nothing but the conch that he gonna put in his hair, man, and dye his joint, man. Like for real, bro. I was like, man, so like he had shake, rattle, and roll in his giraffe sheet probably, and he moved in the cell with somebody to do it, man. Like this is what it is now. I was gonna tell Mike straight up if I ever see him again. You know what I mean? But for real, man, like I don't really think he wanted to hear that news because his cousin just is somebody that just ain't right at the end of the day, man. You know what I mean? But this is the biggest test for him right now. Like he don't have this man $45 and this man want his money for everything that he gave him because he caught him stealing. And I think that was the crazy side of the dude John coming out, man. Because the predator was right. Even though he's a predator, he had no right to steal. Like, what are you stealing? The man baiting you in anyway, and you still stealing? Like, that was out of control, man. So, like, he went in the cell to meet his fate. Man. And, like, them people counted. I can't see nothing. They under me on that side. I can't see nothing. You know what I mean? I don't hear anything. I don't know what's going on until count was clear. When count was clear, them people opened up all the doors. When they opened up all the doors, the dude, Big Sean, come out. He goes straight to the shower. And like, for real, everybody that he asked for money, I was watching everybody. Everybody was looking like, see Big Sean walking to the shower, he like this. You see his homeboy, he like, hey, get the table ready, man. I want to take a shower, man. Yeah, all right, we can play pinochle. Come on, I'm playing. Yeah, come on, man, let me wash my ass real quick. All right, yeah, let me wash off real quick, man. Yeah. Man, go ahead, man. Yeah, man. He closed the shower door. He like, man, go ahead, man, saying something to you. He like, man, go ahead, man. Yeah, man. Go ahead with that, man. Yeah, I'm be out there. Give me a sec. He come and shower up. You know what I mean? He take a shower. When my homeboy was like, yo, I wonder if he did something to John, man. I was like, man, more than likely, man. You know what I mean? More than likely, man. More than likely. My homeboy was like, let's walk a lot. We can look in the cell, you know what I mean? I was like, man, come on, I don't want that man to see. He might call me if he see me. He was like, man, we just gonna walk laps, bro. So we gotta walk past 16 and we coming around. So me and bro start walking laps. I'm like, yo, for real, man, I feel bad, bro, because I rock with his cousin, man. I was like, man, it's crazy. We almost see 15, get to 15, get to 16. I stopped, I looked. John was in the bed facing the wall game, y'all. So boom. I was like, John. He was like, he rolled over like this, like he had his hand, like he was sleeping like this. Y'all know when y'all sleep like this? When you use your two hands as a praying hands as a pillow, you like, it's night time, y'all. So boom. This man turned over like this. This man said, It's like, yo, you good? He was like, you got snot rockets coming out of his nose. He like, I was like, I did it. Because I didn't want the predator to see me at his door. Because the last thing I'm trying to do is hate on the predator and me and him get into it. Like at the end of the day, you can't be no hater in there on anything anybody's doing. Always going to be problems, man. Even for a predator. As long as it ain't your family or somebody you know. And he was somebody I knew, and what I do, I still try to save him, but he didn't listen to me. Now he's in the bed crying. I don't know why he's crying, but he's crying in the bed facing the wall, which he never is like that. And the predator is hopping in the shower, man. That equals violation, y'all. So boom. It could only be one thing. So the dudes that sleep next door to them, they seen when I stopped and kind of like asked them a quick question. When I came around the long way, the dude that sleep in the cell beside him, he stopped me. He said, hey, Weezy, what'd he say? I was like, what do you mean, what'd he say? He was like, what you asked him, was he good? I was like, yeah. I was like, man, he looked traumatized on the top bunk. Dude was like, man, that's because he is. He was like, man, listen, after they counted, all I heard was the nigga Sean just smack him, man. He said, man, he smacked the dog taste out of him. He said, man, because it was like a loud, he did the noise. He was like, it was like a loud smack. And he said, after he smacked him, it just got quiet. He said, I said, so what happened after that? He was like, man, it just was quiet for a long time, man. You know what I mean? He said it was quiet for a long time. So his roommate walked up, was like, nah, tell him we heard somebody crying. So the dude was like, man, we think we heard somebody crying, but it couldn't have been nobody but John though. So his roommate, like, because it was John, man. He was like, man, nigga Sean violated him, man. Yeah, he violated him, man. That's what he do. He owe that man money. That man took the man cheeks, man. So I'm like, oh, God. I'm like, yo, man. I'm like, it's just crazy, man. So me and my homeboy keep walking laps. I ain't want to hear no more of that, man. But it's bothering me. It's bothering me. I ain't gonna lie. It's bothering me to the point where, like, I really want to intervene in this, man. Y'all know how I am. I really don't. But, like, I don't have the full count yet. You know what I mean? So my man, like, yo, Weezy, for real, though, like, man, I don't really like dude, man. Like, dudes that's like that, I don't really. So I said, bro, listen, it's a lot of dudes like that in here, bro. You just don't know until they time to come out there. You know what I mean? That's who they are. I was like, but for real, though, man, I'm going to try to save bro one more time. Just on the strength for my man, you know what I mean? I said, I'm gonna try to save him one more time. He was like, how you gonna do that? I said, I'm gonna talk to Big Sean, bro. You know what I mean? He was like, man, Weezy, I don't know. I was like, bro, look, if it go down, just hold me down. Cause dude, a big dude. Don't let him do me dirty. He was like, oh yeah, that's a lot. So I'm like, all right, man. So I put up my homeboy. I said, yo, look, man. I said, man, you see the big dude, man? I said, you know the big dude, Sean, that's in here. He was like, yeah. I said, man, look, you know the dude, John, man. You know he kind of off, man. My homeboy was like, you think he is off? I was like, yeah, but that's my homeboy Peoples. I said, that's my homeboy cousin when he was in 2C. You know what I mean? And I was like, man, like, what's going on now, man? Like, violate somebody because he owe you money? Yo, Sally? I was like, man, come on, man. They ain't right in the zap. So I was like, look, I'm going to holler at the dude, Big Sean, man. I'm just letting you know because if it go down, bro, like, don't let dude drag me. So my homeboy was like, holler at him about what? I'm like, bro, I'm going to holler at him and tell him, like, yo, spare dude. He was like, Weezy, you ain't going to be able to spare him, Weezy. How you gonna spare somebody that's getting violated, man? He was like, the nigga gonna wanna keep violating him. I'm like, bro, listen, I gotta say something, bro. You know what I mean? To let him know he got at least some people that, you know what I mean, is concerned, not really like protected, but just concerned on what's going on. I said, I'm just a little concerned, bro. He was like, man, Weezy, look, that's a bad idea, bro. But all right, though, it is what it is, though. But like, niggas don't be doing that shit, Weezy. Like, niggas mind their business in this bitch. Niggas stupid enough to move in the cell with these fucking pervert ass niggas, man, and that's on them. I was like, bro, you right, bro. Like, I felt so crazy that my man had to check me like that, man. But it was the real count, y'all. So boom. But yet still, I gotta holler at Big Sean, man. So I sit on the bench. Sit on the joint. You know what I mean? Sit on the joint. I see him get out the shower. He start walking. He's like, he get almost close to his joint. I was like, hey, yo, hey, Sean. He turned around. He's like, I was like, yo, can I holler at you right quick? He was like, I walked up. I was like, hey, look, I know me and you don't be talking like that. I said, but look, though, man, dude, John, that's my homeboy cousin that was in 2C with me, man. I said, for real though, bro, like, I said, just on the strength of him being kind of off, I'll never be that dude that's going to be hating or doing whatever the case or whatever you thinking right now. I said, I'm just speaking as far as, like, I'm concerned, and I think he should get out of the room with you, bro, just because I don't think that's a fair joke, because he kind of, you know what I mean? He was like, nah. He said it just like that. He was like, nah. I was like, nah. He was like, yeah, nah. He can't leave. Nah, he can't leave. He can't leave. He can't leave. What else, though? What's up? What else you got? I was like, what else I got? He was like, yeah. I was like, I was like, what else I got? I backed up a little bit. I was like, nah, I ain't about, I got nothing else. So I'm just saying, though, like, come on, man. He's like, nah. He kept saying that. He's like, nah, he ain't going nowhere to that debt paid. Then he can leave after that debt paid. I'll be done with his ass by then. Yeah, I'll be done with his ass by then. But until then, his ass is mine. I was like, hold on, bro. You tell me you just gonna violate the man over $45? He was like, damn right. I done did it for less. Yeah, I done it for less. Damn right, he gonna pay that debt. So I said, you just gonna force yourself on him like that, man? He was like, I ain't had to do a whole lot of that shit. Yeah, I just smacked the shit out of him and went from there. Because he know he owe me. I was like, man. I looked at him. I was like, I balled my fist up too, like on some old school Friday shit. I was like, shh. I couldn't do nothing, y'all. I faded the black with a predator, man. Call me what you want, man. I'm not beefing with a predator, y'all, so boom. I can't beef with a predator, man. It's not gonna happen, man. Like, and I felt like I was out of bounds. But this man just basically, he just basically put confirmation on what he was doing to freaking broke. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, it's y'all crazy. So he go to cell, come back. He come out fast. So I guess he processed what I told him. He came back out. He come back out. He know the dude who I was just talking to, my man, that told me like, yo, stay out of that junk. You know what I mean? So I see him talking to my man. So he say something to my man. My man pull up on me. My man pull up on me. He was like, Weezy, I told you don't say nothing, man. You know what I mean? Da, 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 da. I was like, what you mean don't say nothing? He was like, yeah, bro, because he pull up on me. I asked him, so as he was just talking, he was explaining. I was like, he's cool. I was like, bro, listen, bro. I had to scan him though, but I'm just like, look, bro. Like, man, listen, bro. He was like, nah, man. He pull up on me. He was like, man, I know that's your little homeboy, man. But look, tell him to stay out my business though. Like, you know what I mean? John gonna pay that bread one way or the other. So I'm like, bro, listen, you cool with that, bro? He was like, I don't care about dude, Weezy. Dude is not from Norfolk, and I don't know dude, so I don't care. Like, that's what do you mean? What are you asking me? I'm like, right. I was like, you right, man. I was like, still, I was just trying to save the nigga, man. You know what I mean? I said, the nigga got down boxed in. He's like, nah, he boxed himself in by moving in the cell with that nigga Weezy. I was like, I didn't know what to say no more. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know what to do. All I know is John was boxed in. He couldn't go nowhere, man. They called standby for dinner. Man. John come out. Finally, he emerged from the cell. He come out. This man is standing by the cell looking crazy as shit. So I see a couple of dudes. He might say something to, went over there, said something to him. He talked to them for a second. You know what I mean? I looked up. I seen the predator dude not even going to child. He wasn't even going to child, man. So they said, exit out for child. So we start walking. We walking to the child hall. Me and my homeboy walking. We get a little closer. I heard somebody say, Weezy. I was like, I'm looking. I can't see what this is. Going like, Weezy. Everybody coming, going towards the child. I'm like, yo. As soon as the crowd cleared, it was John. He was walking like this. He was like, Weezy. I was like, what's up? He was like, tear came down. I was like, what happened, man? He was like, he made me pay my debt. I said, man, he told me you still owe him. He was like, yeah, because he said I only paid for half of it. I said, what only paid for half of it? He was like, man, I don't want to talk about it. I was like, man, what do you want, though? What's up? What's going on? Like, what do you want me to do, John? He was like, I want you to help me. I was like, bro, I can't help you. You got to help yourself. I said, go to the hole right now. Let's go to the hole. He was like, I'm not running from him, Weezy. I'm not going to run from him, man. I said, so what, you just going to stay in the cell and get violated, man? So we getting closer to the child hall as we having this conversation. I said, bro, we just going to keep getting violated, though. He was like, Weezy. I said, man, stop crying, man. I said, bro, stop crying. Let everybody see you cry like that, man. I said, stop crying. Wipe your tears off. He was like, he was in the child hall like this. I was like, chill, bro. He was like, man. I felt so, I ain't gonna lie, y'all. Like, this wasn't even funny. Because I'm telling y'all, man, something wasn't right about him, man. I don't know what it was, but something wasn't right about John John, man. John John was in the line crying, boiling. You know what I mean? He get to the jump, get his tray. The CO see him. What you crying for? What happened to you? He like, CO was like, let me see your face. Stick your hands out. He was like, what, you was fighting? He was like, no. He's like, what happened then? He was like, nothing. I'm over there like, it's crazy, man. CO was like, all right, well, sit down there, man. You coming in the line boo-hooing, man. He was like, he wiped his face and grabbed his tray. He went over there. He sat by, but when the cooler's was at by itself, ate the tray. I was like, oh my God, I was like, this junk crazy. He ate his food, went back to the pod. We stayed out in the pod all the way till it was lockdown time then. We, man, go back in the cell. We come back out after that lockdown, man. This man came back out for the last lockdown. This time he was going to get in the shower. I looked up, the dude Sean was going to take another shower. This is shower number 2. But this time, John was going to the shower too. So they both over there by the showers. I see the dude, Sean, talking to him. He like, yeah, he's saying something to him. You see John just standing there like, John standing there looking stupid, man. You know why? Because even if you kind of messed up, man, like, you know right from wrong on most things. And you know for a fact, if you're not gay, man, you're not going to let nobody do nothing like that. What John let that man do, man. But, like, it goes back to the beginning, y'all, the story. Like, he got way too comfortable with this dude, man. I told him that dude shake, rattle, and roll. He don't supposed to be accepting nothing from this dude for free. He don't supposed to be doing nothing. Because this is what a predator wants, man. But when you get too comfortable in penitentiary, this is the stuff that happens, man. So right now, John's doing bad. You know what I mean? He's just getting busted up. He's just getting freaking violated back and forth by this dude because he's never going to pay that bread. He's never going to pay the freaking bread, man. So this went on for like a week. Do the workout, bust John up, pause, come back out. John will go get in the shower. John went in himself again. He walking around looking stupid. He walking around like this. He got a stupid walk now, like he's dragging his right leg, like he can't even lift his right leg up, like he sprung his ankle in the playoffs. Like, I don't know what he had going on, man. John was injured. He was injured, man, and I didn't want to know where he was injured from. I didn't even want to know those details, man, but it went on for like a week. Y'all. I promise y'all, man. Store day come. When we get our bags, John finally gets $25. John go get his commissary. This is my word. John finally looked like he had a little excitement in his life. He finally looked like a little bit of joy was brought back to him because he got a bag full of zooms and whams. Only $25. But you know, John ain't got a lot. This is enough for him. Soups, chips, couple of buns. You know what I mean? No hygiene. You already know how he do. He burnt out. Man, I promise you, man, this man get his bag. He start walking back to the cell. He tell the lady that's passing out the commissary to CO. He like, all right, bye. He walking. He like, as soon as he get to cell 16, Big Sean came out. Big Sean was like, thank you. He was like, yeah, now you owe me $15. He was like, you ain't gonna let me have none of this stuff. I was like, nah, we'll get my $15. I was like, I'm getting my commissary. I pin all this junk. I'm like, I see the junk. I see the CO lady go to the other dude and start helping. I was like, I looked at my bag. I was like, I had 5 tunas, 5 mackerels. I was like, I had 5 tunas, 5 mackerels. I was like, I had a goddamn clam in there. I'm like, man. I just started grabbing it. I was like, man. I walked over to the predator cell, man. I walked over to the junk. I see John just sitting on the bench looking stupid with his hand in his head like this. He was like, I walked up, the dude was by the sink. He seen me. He was like, he thought I was about to come in there or something. I was like, oh, nah, bro. I said, look, he owe you $15, right? He was like, yeah. I was like, here. He was like, he looked at it. He was like, he looked like he wanted to give me a laugh like, that's looked like we wanted to say. I was like, it's right here. He was like, you paying for him? I was like, yeah, man, I'm paying for him, man. I said, come here, John. John was like, I can't. I was like, what you mean you can't? Dude, Sean turned around to me. He's like, cause he can't. Well, thanks for the $15 though. He's like, CO, boom, 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 boom. Close my door. And John said, ying, poosh. And I was on the outside looking in, y'all, so boom. I was like, this John crazy, man. I looked at John looking stupid. I'm like, man, I gave the man $15. I'm like, hold on. Now I feel like you bucking on me. I didn't know what to do, but I gave him the $15. The man said he owed $15 more. I gave him the $15, y'all. crazy, man. I go back upstairs. They continue locking us down for commissary. We still locked down for commissary, man. You know what I mean? I'm sitting in the joint just like, yo, shit crazy, man. This nigga just took the $15 and told the lady to close my damn door. You know what I mean? I said, yo, this shit wild. But I was like, man, I don't know what the fuck could I do next. I'm all out of ideas. I'm not fighting this nigga. Like, that's not it, man. I'm not gonna rumble a nigga that's in there trying to do him. Even if it's some old booty bandit ass shit, man, that's on him. You know what I mean? He's fucking luring niggas in, niggas that's stupid, that's on they dumb ass. That's not my problem. I just know bro cousin. You know what I mean? So I'm like, man, I done all I can do. That was that. It won't nothing else to do. It won't nothing else for us to do, man. And like I just was all out of ideas, man. So that whole day that we came out, you know what I mean? Looked like John was semi-free, but it looked like he wasn't though, man. It was too late to be free, to be honest with you, man. I just thought the $15 would kind of ease the slack up. Pause. I don't know, man. But like, dude got him in a headlock. So the whole day, I don't know if he violated him that whole day or what. All I know is when we got locked down for that the late night joint, we all in the cell. And I told you I'm in cell 34. I can't see or really know what's going on like that because I'm looking at a closet. So I'm in the cell chilling, man. And I just hear the slider open up. And when the slider opened up, dudes came to the door and was like, Ear! Everybody hit the police noise. Then the lights came on in the joint. So I'm like, so that's when I get up and I'm looking. I'm like, I can't see nothing but the police just going like towards this way, which is towards they cell, but I still didn't know which way they was going. So as the joint opened up, man, that's my word, man. The sergeant dude was like, man, look. The sergeant dude was like, call the stretcher. Call the stretcher. Call the stretcher, man. Tell them people bring the stretcher, man. And we just standing there, everybody on the door. So I tell my man that's in 32, I was like, yo, what happened, bro? He was like, I don't know, but they had John themselves. I'm like, man, for real, man. I was like, man, that man done John dirty like that. It was like, I don't know, ain't nobody come out. Ain't nobody come out yet, man. So as he's saying that, he was like, oh shit. Nigga was like, look, Weezy. I look. Man, it's my word. I looked to see John going out like this. John was like, take that nigga out. My word, they took that nigga out. I was like, I said, that's John. Nigga was like, yeah. So nigga was like, oh shit, he got that dude. Nigga was like, oh shit. I promise y'all, man, next thing you know, police come from everywhere. Goddamn, the medical coming that bitch. Every goddamn thing came in that motherfucker, man. I promise you, man, look, they came and got the nigga Big Sean. Man, they came and got that nigga, man. They put that nigga on the stretcher. I promise you, man, blood was just oozing out his fucking head. And he's bald-headed. Man, blood was just oozing. I'm talking about as the stretcher it's leaving a trail of blood. The sergeant said, stop, turn him this way for his head can leak on the stretcher. They turned him this way. He ain't even moving, by the way. Man, they turned the nigga for his blood can hit the fucking stretcher. Man, there was so much fucking blood going from cell 16 all the way up to the booth almost, man. I promise you, man, that nigga shit was leaking. Man, that nigga shit was leaking, man. They took the nigga out. They took him to medical. So they had us locked down the whole fucking day. We was locked down the whole fucking day. The CO came and did a round and with the trays. And when he came and did the round with the trays, he came to my cell. I was like, man, what the fuck happened, man? He was like, man, the light-skinned dude said he said the R word. He said dude was graping him, man. He said dude was graping him, man. So he was like, he waited till he went to sleep and he busted his head with his TV. I was like, what? He was like, man, he hit the nigga with his own TV. I was like, man, get the fuck. He said, man, he split dude shit, man. He was like, he split dude shit, knocked dude out. Dude was fucking out cold until they got him to medical, man. He's like, nigga had a concussion. He was fucked. I was like, God damn. So I said, man, he told y'all, man, the nigga was violating him though. He was like, yeah, man. He was like, I don't know if that's gonna help him or not, man, because that's still an assault charge. But he was like, but that's what he told the Sarge though, man, that the dude was raping him, man. So I said, oh my fucking God, man. Predator lose on this one, man. The Predator lose. Predator got too greedy, man, to be honest with you, because I gave him the $15. The nigga gave him $25, man. Stall the man out, Debo. God damn, man. Like, you can't be that much in love with Cheeks, man, that the payment ain't even gonna straighten it, man. Like, I don't know. Maybe he just thought he had something sweet with the nigga John, and John proved that nigga wrong and bust that nigga shit to the white meat, man. Now, I never seen John again, but I saw that motherfucking Predator again, man. He stayed on they let him out. He came out, so I guess the graping charge the stick that they tried to put on him or whatever the case, because he got his head busted. But they transferred John. John never came back on the compound, but the Predator came back on the compound, man. He was in one building up to his old Predator ways, man, with a nice old scar right here on his damn forehead forever that John gave his stupid ass, man. But like, I feel like I commend John, man, for like getting out of that situation like that. He had to do something. You know what I mean? He had to do something. I think it finally hit John. Like, all the craziness went away. And he probably was like, yo, like, I can't even pay this man and get out this situation. Like, that's when I felt like he was finally boxed in and he had to do something, man. John made the right move, y'all. And that was that, man. But that was a crazy situation. That's the end of the damn story, though. I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Stay your ass out the way. Your family needs you, man. Period. But y'all already know what it is, man. This was the Tuesday Banger. So what did y'all do this one? Like, subscribe. Let's get it. Let's go. But be safe out there, people. And stay your ass out the way.
Get your money, don't care who judge. Stay out the way, surround yourself with nothing but love. Stay out the way if you a gangster, killer or thug. Stay out the way, put your faith in the man above. Stay out the way, chill with your family, siblings and blood. Stay out the way, kick it with your girl, forget hit in the club. Stay out the way, mind on your money, ain't no switching it up. Stay out the way, stand out the way, what you thought that it was. Stay out the way, if you stuck down on your luck, not feeling righteous. Did a petty crime, just looking for some excitement. Now your name on affidavits and court indictments. Get paid for a lot, but your freedom is priceless. You did the crime, you do the time, don't let it surprise you. Real stories from the heart just to open your eyes.